an uncomfortable topic to talk about, especially for a guy, young guys in their early 20s. And, I'm glad that, I could tune in and, listen to you guys.
Spencer Kobren's The Bald Truth.
Hey guys, welcome to the broadcast. The phone number is 888-659-3727. It is wonderful to be here on a Friday night with my buddy, co-host of the broadcast for at least 10, 12 years or some shit like that, Joseph Tillman, the original hair transplant mentor. Joe, how are you, brother?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine, Spencer Kobren. How are you?
I'm all right. I cannot complain. Everything is pretty good. Before we get to the calls and the topic of the show, I thought this was very interesting, Joe, and I thought that I should share this with you and the listeners just to illustrate, to underline, to underscore how full of shit this industry really is.
Go for it.
So we put out a guide through the American Hair Loss Association in May, right? Best hair transplant surgeons in the world, 2026 guide. Essentially, they're IHRS members. We explain what the guide is, what it's for, the reason why it's being published by the American Hair Loss Association, plus all the information people need to make a truly informed decision. These were not typical rankings or stuff done by reviews or anything like that. None of the happy horse shit that you see online currently. The main purpose of it was there is so much best doctors, nonsense that's being put out by mainstream media outlets that are essentially selling their souls for advertising and clicks, whether it's the LA Times, Forbes India, Forbes, USA Today.
Yeah.
And they have these very small little disclosures that this is either an advertorial or paid advertisement or paid partnership or whatever it is, However, the problem is AI and Google and everyone else is picking this up when people are looking up the best doctors. And they're pulling from what they think are legacy, these strong legacy media outlets.
Yeah.
It is the way that it is. So we wanted to try to help patients make better informed decisions. Great, right? That's what we do. That's what we've been doing for 25 years.
Absolutely.
Get contacted by someone in Europe. Actually, they're marketing people.
Wait, marketing people? I'm shocked.
Yeah, marketing people. Yes, I know you're shocked. It is shocking. From Europe, from let's just say a group. There's just several physicians, whatever.
Okay.
Who at one point in my career, not too long ago, did everything in their power to undermine my credibility, the IHRS, this broadcast, anything that we were involved in.
Really?
Because I guess they felt they couldn't be part of the IHRS.
This is a clinical group.
Yeah, I mean, it changes. Sometimes it's 2 doctors, 3 doctors. I think now it's about 5, I think. I'm not going to say who. It's not. Well, I would say the average person would find it difficult to find out who it is. So I'm trying to be, as cryptic as possible. Anyway, beautiful email congratulating us on the guide, saying that, it's a lot of patients are coming through to our clinic now, and they're referencing the best hair transplant surgeon in the world guide through the American Hair Loss Association. And we really would love to know what it takes to be involved. And I'm thinking to myself, you got to be fucking kidding me.
You idiots.
Yeah. Now, when you read the guide, it discusses the IHRS and everything, and then, how long we've been doing this. Now, they've obviously hired a marketing arm, and whoever is doing the consult is saying, Jesus, people are coming through and they're asking, why aren't you part of this thing? Yeah. Which I understand. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. But for the love of Christ, I don't mean to use his name in vain for those who are believing that end of things. It amazes me. That's all. It just absolutely amazes me. These people will sell their effing souls for a lead. They don't give a shit. I mean, if you really you wanted to take a public stand against the work that we've done, and now you're like, wait a second, maybe we should be part of this party. I mean, these people have no fucking backbones. What is it?
Well,
are we good or are we bad? Are we destroying the industry or are we elevating the industry? What is it?
If that's the case, then if they've had a change of heart, then man up and say it. Sorry about the past. We see what's going on. We appreciate what's going on. We want to be part of things. That'd be respectable.
Look, if it was somebody else who may have just been a politician, didn't ever want to apply to the IHS, and they were really good at what they did, yeah, of course. What am I going to do? Not give them an opportunity? You don't think we want to accept these guys and take dues? Of course we do. And this is a group of doctors. I could just say, hey, this is what it is. This is how it works. If I just wanted to take a check, we can take a check. I didn't even respond. It was forwarded to me. I'm just like, you know what? Don't even respond to these motherfuckers. Excuse my French, Joe.
I can't wait till the show's over so I can find out this is.
Just leave it alone. They don't even deserve a response.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I put it out there for you guys to hear this is like, I'm telling you, man, when you see these awards and this and that and the other thing, I'm telling you, understand where it comes from. And also understand that so many of these guys in this field have zero integrity. If they truly believed that Spencer Kobren was just bad for this industry. I mean, this one particular guy, I mean, he said some of the most egregious things in certain meetings about me. It was insane.
Was nothing said about me?
I don't remember, honestly. I think back in the day when I was really kind of in the crosshairs, you were working for Hassan and Wong.
Oh, so this is like the 2010s.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, you have to understand from 98 till, not too long ago, the bad guys in the industry really did not like me.
Yeah.
I came out swinging and exposing the truth. But now I want to let bygones be bygones. We want to be a part of what Kobren's doing. After they try to shut me down, after they try to remove this information from remove the ability for consumers to get this information, to be helped, to be guided in a safe direction.
By the way, sorry, everyone in the chat room, repeat after me. We want names. We want names. We want names. Take it over. Go ahead.
Eventually you get names. Hey, let me tell you something. At the end, you know how at the end of Cheers, what's his name pulled off his piece? I'm going to put out every name. Sam, what's his name, Sam?
He's going to take off his piece. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Whoosh. Later, guys. Anyway, it was interesting. I'm not really frustrated. It's just, I find it hilarious.
Well, it reminded me of 11 years ago when I did the undercover consultation, when I went into a now very well-known Turkish hair clinic.
Oh, yeah.
And I pretended
always
to be...
have to one-up me, Joseph. Always have to one-up. No, that's okay. Hey, look,
this is one-upping. This is an also. This is a continuation of the hypocrisy. So went into the clinic, documented, which is on my YouTube channel, people. You can watch that after the show. Undercover consultation, I think, is the playlist. And they tried to schmooze me. I met the doctor. To his credit, he said that the work he recognized that had worked. He's like, my God, this is fantastic. Still wanted to do like 2,000 or 2,200 grafts to lower my hairline ridiculously low. And I exposed it all on the internet, on YouTube. And several years later, I get the email. We'd love to have you come to Turkey. We will pay you. We will pay for the flight. We will pay for your surgery. We'll pay for your friend. If you don't want to do the surgery, but you can still come. We want both of you to come.
We'll pay for your friend with the 5 head that sits next to you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we'll pay you 5 figures in euros. And
I remember that actually. Now it's funny. My memory's just.
It was only like 6 years after I was there.
I remember that.
But they had hired a marketing company, which happened to be in Germany, to reach out and find influencers, not knowing who the hell these people were contacting. But there you go.
Listen, that's the way that it is. And, I guess when you're doing this for so long and when you come out and you are essentially, look, I made no friends in the field at the beginning. I was like a pariah. It was tough. It really was. I was this lone guy. I mean, we eventually became friendly and, but at the very beginning, it was just like I was an island on my own, man.
Oh, yeah.
And there were people who loved me, and then I was public enemy number 1 for most of the field. There were the original 11 doctors who loved me because I put them in my book. And then when I founded the IHRS and started to grow things, there were the, 30 some odd doctors at the time. They would say, oh, hell yeah, we love this. Yeah, it's great. We'd love to be a part of this. Until politics came in and they kind of not all of them, but some of them kind of pussied out as far as like, I made 2 of them senior medical advisors.
Yeah.
Like Ron Shapiro was the first, and Paul Rose, the first medical advisors for the IHRS. And they were both so into it. Then they go to some conference. I think it was Matt Levitt's live surgery workshop. And they both called me and they were just like, if I could have seen that, I'm sure they would have been white as ghosts. And they were like, we had no idea this was going to be such a problem. People are telling us not to do this. I don't know if I want to be involved in this. I was just like, all right, good luck. Pussies.
Oh, yeah.
Big pussies. But now, after being around for 30 years and accomplishing what we've accomplished, everyone wants to be our friends. Do you know how many people's lives we could have saved if everyone just got together early on? And I know I just keep beating the same damn drum, but it just amazes me. And guys, we'll take your call in a second. Graham has been sending both you and I pictures through Instagram of his recent procedure the last few days. And I have to tell you, he sent me this beautiful, and he was touching voice memo, thanking me. He mentioned you too, by the way.
I didn't get it.
For the guidance, and that he would have made a big mistake if it wasn't for us. And I see the level of his work after 1 day. And he did say we could show it on the air if you wanted to, or I could show it on my Instagram. But you see the level of work, post-operative work. 1 day after in the donor, you just like, this is what it's supposed to be. And basically nobody on the internet understands that. Even in whatever Reddit stuff that you guys are involved in, the stuff that you've sent me, the post-operative procedures that people are saying are clean, I'm just like, holy shit. First of all, I hate that term. What do you know about clean work anyway? But it's just kind of like, it's mind-boggling when you see state-of-the-art work done compared to what's being promoted as state-of-the-art online.
100%. 100%. The first thing I noted that I said to Graham after he sent pics of his donor was how good it looked. And I don't say clean. I don't even use that word because it's so overused and no one knows what the fuck it even means.
I used it with Graham because I think he knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't like to use it publicly like you said.
But
know what it means.
It is. You took the words out of my mouth. That is how it's supposed to look when it's done right. And speaking of Reddit, I was on Reddit for a bit today, and Jesus Christ, it is so much worse than it was even 6 months ago. Holy
Are
crap,
you still
man.
on the micropenis subforum?
No. They stopped showing your pics, so I
Okay.
moved on. So
that was good.
thank
That
you.
was
Thank
good.
You. Thank you. But the but it's just so like how worse can it get? You don't ask that question because you'll find out, you know? So all I can do is just keep fighting the good fight, though. The good thing is the negativity is really shallow, easily swatted to the side.
That's good.
It just takes facts. Like
I'm looking at you. I just
the
turned
facts.
on the on my screen here. Your hair looks fantastic today.
Thank you. It's particularly poofy.
It looks good. It really works.
And I didn't even do anything. It wasn't even for my Rutique Duo. It's I did do a bit more of a spray job after I blow dry it right before the show, but yeah,
It looks good.
thank you.
I think a good thing to do is let people wait for the information that you have to somewhere. Let's take a couple of calls first. And let
Let's do that.
people hold on, and I know Joe has some exciting news to share. So let's see who this is. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from? Hey, caller.
Hey, this is. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, sorry, I'm in the car. Yeah, this is Will calling from the DC area.
Hey, Will.
Hello, Will.
Yeah, I've been actually listening to you guys for I don't know a few years, and had my first transplant consult probably 14 years ago. And
Oh wow.
Unless I back out over the next 2 days, I'm finally pulling the trigger with Dr. Nussbaum in Miami on Monday.
Wow. So you waited. So you waited you had your first transplant, your first consult 14 years ago. How old were you 14 years ago?
God, I'm 56 now, so whatever that is.
Okay. So listen, you waited for a good time in your life to have a transplant. 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And I've seen most of the doctors I've seen are part of the IHRS, or if I'm saying that right.
You are
saying not, right, but yeah. And just it kind of came down to, in the end, I just kind of like Nussbaum's hairline's the best, and they were able to connect me with a patient of his I could talk to, and one of the staff members that had a procedure there herself kind of gave me the lowdown on hers, and I've already been down there and seen him in person, and so I mean I feel like I've done as much due diligence as I can. And
now, what kind of procedure are you having? FUE or FUT?
I'm doing FUT. I don't think I'm a one and done person. I think I'll probably need at least one more.
What's your current, your current hair loss status, your Norwood status?
I'm a 4 or 5, maybe, I guess.
Okay.
Kind of still a little band between the crown and the frontal area. So we're going to do the frontal area, and then I might look at going back to fill in a little bit. I'm not going to try to do the whole crown, but, maybe try to fill it in just a little bit.
So what made you
famous
wait?
Last words.
What made you wait 14 years to get a transplant?
It's mostly some of it is just you're afraid of just getting disfigured, but
that's a good reason.
Propitia's only been somewhat. I mean, I think it has definitely slowed down things, but and even switching to dutasteride for a while but I'm still losing. I mean, the amount of hair I've lost over since I started Propecia almost 20 years ago, it's still significant, and that's kind of been, if I'm still going to keep losing, it's going to be like I said, I'm not going to be a one and done. And it's going to.
Did you discuss potentially getting on another med as well, like low dose oral minoxidil potentially?
I tried that, and I can't tolerate even the smallest dose without my under eye swelling up.
Really?
Even a quarter of a pill. And that might be because I had a little bit of under eye filler done years ago that's still hanging in there that might be blocking some drainage. So I'm thinking of trying to get that removed and see if I can try oral minoxidil again.
That's interesting. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
The thing about hyaluronic, how do you pronounce it, Joe?
The hyaluronic acid?
Yeah, thank you. Jesus. is that it actually, what people don't fully grasp, and now they're understanding it, but they're really filling people, and not just overfilling people, but filling everybody. It actually absorbs water. So it expands and it can contract. So that's a possibility. That's why you're getting it with even small dosages. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and my advice to anybody who don't do it, I had a very small amount done over 10 years ago, and it's still freaking there.
Well, it doesn't go away like they claim, But
no, it doesn't.
But if it was a small amount, I'm sure it looks fine.
It's a little wormy. I mean, I can see it in photos. I don't see it in the mirror, but and I might still try to get it dissolved, but that creates issues too. I might, be better off leaving it alone. So we'll see. But I did want to ask you one thing about hairlines, because with Dr. Nussbaum, his suggestion was kind of starting the new hairline exactly where like the little stragglers are still in the frontal area, and I'd kind of like to start a little further back. And I am going to meet with an electrolysis technician tomorrow just to get what their, opinion is of what can be done. But I would kind of like to start a little further back and then see about getting some of these straggler hairs, electrolysis off after the new hairline.
Well, how many stragglers are there?
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on how far back we go. I mean, if we don't go back very far, we're talking maybe 20. If I go back a little further, we could be getting into maybe 100. I mean, it could be a lot.
And he took a look at you and did his measurements, and he thought that it would be reasonable to kind of start where those stragglers are.
Yeah, I mean, it's still definitely would be an age-appropriate hairline. It's still, but again, as someone who's probably going to keep losing, and I just think if the crown keeps expanding a little bit in the back, I think it might look a little better if the frontal hairline.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm older than you. Let's face it, brother. You're 56.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to say,
yeah,
you're my age.
Yeah, so you don't know how much further you're going to progress and if you're going to be alive. So you got to put that into perspective too.
Right.
We have a lot more runway behind us. Let's put it that way. And that's fine. I mean, thank God we're still around, and you're healthy enough, and you're doing well, and you want to have a hair transplant. But I wouldn't be that concerned about what's going to be happening 25 years down the road at this point, especially if Dr. Nussbaum, and again, this is just my view, you have to be comfortable with this, but especially if Dr. Nussbaum thinks his initial impression of how you would look best would be to kind of move it down to where the straggler, the little hairs are that are still growing. But that's just my opinion. Joe, what do you think?
Well, I think first off, well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like I'm thinking to myself, the dude's my age. If I was starting now, and granted, we don't know, where these stragglers are in your face. You're just kind of explaining it, but knowing your age, knowing Dr. Nussbaum,
who's very appropriate and conservative,
I would be inclined to say, obviously discuss with him. Get the pros and cons, get the ifs, ands, or buts, but the guy knows what he's doing. Like he's one of the few doctors that I would trust his opinion without too much question on my part, just sight unseen, just because I know how he thinks about hair restoration. He's very reasonable. I won't say conservative. He's very reasonable.
Appropriate
for every patient, but the age appropriate thing that you brought up, you're 50, like Spencer said, you're 56. Like how much more age appropriate are we talking? I'm being serious here with that. Like how much more age appropriate can we be past 56? When we're 26, everyone's telling us to get age appropriate for the future, not just now, and that's so that when we become 56, it won't look unusual. We're 56 now, brother. So don't be too afraid of it. I think that, I have an idea of what your situation looks like. I'm imagining that you said you have the bridge. So you're maybe a Norwood 4 with a patch in the back and loss in the front, but stragglers in the front. Is it a forelock that you have, or is it just remnants of the old hairline that never decided to go away? What's going on?
I mean, I would say it's about an inch of kind of really thin, hairs before we kind of get to the strip between the crown and the forehead.
But is it concentrated in the front though, in any way?
No, I mean, it's in the front, but it's not just right in the front. It's pretty much, across the whole forehead where it's thin.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, that's an incredible template.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great template to work off of. And frankly, that actually, if it's done right, which it most likely would be, depending on how much you have, that will do nothing but enhance the final result. Because nothing beats natural. Nothing beats Mother Nature for naturalness. That's what I meant to say.
Even, what's interesting about that, even if, say, every, centimeter or so across the hairline, you have 3 or 4 natural hairs growing.
Yeah.
Just the way that improves the basic overall social distance view of your hair, it's amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. It's like, when you see, when women wear hair or wear wigs, if they have somewhat of a hairline and they can integrate it into their wig, it looks 100% natural, even if they only have 200 strands across their hairline. Yeah. It's just amazing. So, yeah, I mean, listen, we're not telling you what to do. If for some reason maybe it's like super low and we don't even, and you're not describing it right, then yeah, it might look weird. But if those hairs are already age appropriate, and if he believes he could work within those hairs and improve your overall appearance and framing of the face, I would consider it as opposed to getting them removed.
And I would imagine that if he felt like they were too low and obstructive to a natural result, which was, again, quote unquote, age appropriate, he'd tell you. He would tell you, absolutely. And secondly, I would also suggest, you said that you have an appointment or you're going to be talking to a laser technician. Is that right?
Yeah, electrolysis technician. Not have them do anything. I just wanted to see what they think is possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible for them to kill your hair. That's absolutely possible.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
And it could take several passes depending on your hair type. But more importantly, I was going to say, don't go to a technician that doesn't deal with reconstructing hairlines. They won't know what to tell you because they don't know what and not to disrespect anyone that does that for a profession, but their job is to take the hair out for a better cosmetic appearance, to make it look smooth or clean or whatever. The best way to do that is deal with Dr. Nussbaum, get his opinion, move forward based on what you and he agree upon. And if that agreement happens to include some hairs in the front that are in the way, and Dr. Nussbaum talks to you about this,
I'm sure he has a guy.
That's when you bring in the prospect of consulting with a electrolysis person or laser tech, because you just point to what you want taken out and they'll take it out. Their opinion won't be as educated as Dr. Nussbaum's or yours, frankly. Make sense?
Good. I appreciate that advice. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do anything until after we do the procedure and it grows in, and I'll talk to him about that. When I saw Dr. Cooley years ago, he was like kind of the next on my list. I ended up going with Dr. Nussbaum, but he actually suggested that he was going to electrolysis a little bit on one side before he did the procedure.
When I first went to his clinic, it was the second time I was at his clinic. It was the first time I was there to review for his official inclusion on my website. I spent 3 days there, and there was a patient that he had ready for surgery that had that exact procedure done. He had the electrolysis done to remove some bad grafts from a previous surgery, and then he transplanted from scratch, basically, the same procedure. And I kept in touch with the patient afterwards, and it worked out beautifully. Like, it was a beautiful result considering where he started. So it does work, absolutely. But the thing about Dr. Cooley being a dermatologist and a world-class hair surgeon, he knows exactly what to do, where to do it, and how when it comes to electrolysis and the removal and then the surgery to reconstruct.
And so does
Yeah.
Aaron, because he's a dermatologist also, and he deals with that.
Granted, but
Yeah.
I don't. My point was that he does it as well during the surgery. I don't know if Dr. Nussbaum does that, but my point was
And he,
they know what to do. A regular electrolysis shop wouldn't quite know what to do as far as the game plan goes.
one more question. I know, Spencer, you've said this, you've explained this before, but real quick, I know you take your finasteride just once or twice a week or something, and I'm just curious if you can remind me what the rationale is, because I would kind of like to start doing that. It's just kind of, I mean, it's no big deal to cut a pill in four, but it still wouldn't be easy to pop one pill twice a week.
Well, my rationale was I started to use this medication before anyone was discussing using it for hair loss, except for those who were studying it. So I got my hands on 5 milligrams of Proscar and started to take a 5 milligram dose every day. That's how I started the treatment. And as I was researching my book and doing more research, I thought to myself, well, at least according to these clinical trials, they claim that a 1 milligram dose is not, a 5 milligram dose is not going to be more effective than a 1 milligram dose for hair loss. So I thought to myself, let me see if I can titrate the dosage down and see how well I do. Now, I didn't want to, no one was talking about cutting up pills back then. So I just started to titrate my medication to see how I felt. And eventually I got down to 1 5 milligram dose a week. And I seemed to maintain my hair for that entire year when I got to that point. So around that time, I actually got published and got on the air and started to talk about that. And, doctors were saying that it can't work. Intermittent dosing will not work with this medication, but it was working for me. So my rationale was I started on 5 milligrams. I wanted to cut back as much as I could to see how well I did. And that's what happened. When I started to lose ground, I'd say about 5 years ago, I decided, let me kind of titrate up a little bit. So I added 1 dose per week. So now I'm essentially taking a total of 10 milligrams per week, I guess, of finasteride. So that's my rationale. And also the reality is now they're finding out, at least I think it was published maybe about 6 years ago, that finasteride essentially, while it has a relatively short half-life, your DHT doesn't start to go back up for several days after your last dose. So intermittent dosing is fine. Now every doctor is discussing intermittent dosing to mitigate side effects. So that's a long way to get to my rationale, but that's really the history of what transpired.
Yeah. And when I saw Dr. Cooley, he suggested adding the is it Zion Health topical dutasteride to the and he sent the prescription in. I might fill it, but and he was a good guy. I liked him. I think he's really good. In the end, I just liked Nussbaum's Hairlines just a little bit better, but he would have been a great choice.
Listen, they're both great guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, either if whoever you decide to choose out of the two, you're going to do well. Yeah, but you have to go with your gut. And listen, Aaron is a great guy. I mean, listen, there's really great doctors out there, and I would say that obviously anyone who's working with the IHRS, they basically are the best doctors out there. There are a handful of others who haven't applied. I get it; they're not part of it. I totally understand that. But as far as like personalities, Aaron is one of the few guys I would actually go out and have a drink with. I mean, Jerry too, but Aaron's a really good guy. And he's caring, and they're going to do great follow-up. And it's just his dad, I have to tell you, his dad, Bernie, man, back in the day when everyone was like after my ass, he was like one of the few guys that, I mean, so respectful, so kind, such a nice guy, so welcoming. I mean, Aaron comes from a great family, and he's been doing this essentially since he's 14 years old. He's been working in the clinic, maybe younger.
Younger.
Yeah.
His dad used to bring him in when he was as young as 5 years old, and he'd give him some hair to play with under a microscope just to keep him busy so he could work.
Yeah.
good story.
Cool. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. I'll check back in at some point, and hopefully,
Please do.
keep your fingers crossed all goes well.
I think it's good. I think you're going to do fine.
Yeah.
So listen, good luck, brother.
All right. Appreciate it.
All
Thanks
right.
so much,
Thanks
guys.
for the
Have a good
call.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Good luck.
And I'm reading the chat for a second. Mr. Rolandis, using hyaluronic acid on your face, on the outside of your face, is different than having it injected under your skin as filler. So, of course, you're going to be fine. Just want to put that out there.
It's good info.
Yeah, I don't want people who are using it as in part of their skin serum to be concerned that they're going to all of a sudden swell up if they're on it. But I will say that anyone who is still considering getting fillers put into their face are out of their minds. And the physicians and the injectors who are now they're panicking because the reality of this is coming out.
Yeah.
Listen, sorry, you got to find something else to do.
Yeah, move on. Put the needle down, back away, and find another project.
2012, when Real Self wanted me to do this live broadcast for them, and they wanted me to do. They were trying to promote it as a liquid facelift, and they had me. I'm not going to say the name of the doctor. Had me essentially pipe into a live procedure of the physician using fillers and Botox, whatever it is. I said, first of all, I cannot promote this as a liquid facelift. And once I saw what was happening, I was like, I can't be a part of this. Because we already knew that this shit migrated, and it didn't ever really, it was never completely removed from your body. No. And the amount of stuff that this guy was injecting this woman's face, it took an hour. I was like, I can't be involved in this.
Yeah.
And now they're finding out people are being disfigured, consistent inflammation, they're just lifelong inflammation. It's better to get a facial implant. At least, you develop some scar tissue around it, and it's not going to migrate. Anyway, phone number is 888-659-3727. I got to say, for two old fucks who've been balding for 40 years, our hair looks pretty good. Let's see.
Looking pretty good today. Yeah.
Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, guys. It's Seb from England.
Seb, what's happening,
up,
brother?
Seb?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Can't complain. We got the same shirts on, and
Did you see her hair today?
It's like nothing happened.
Yeah. Well, I told my friend that I made him go bald.
Oh no! Oh wow!
Yeah.
And
so,
how many teeth do you have left?
So what was it like? Did you sit? Did you guys? You're like, listen, why don't you meet me at the bar, or the pub?
No, I think he's abroad at the minute doing his boxing. So I'm safe across the ocean for now until he comes home. But I was gonna call him, and I thought I don't. It's a bit of a strange thing to call someone about. So I sort of chickened out of that one. So I just sent him a message. I said, hey man, look, I owe you a thanks and I owe you an apology. And I said, thank you for sort of introducing me to finasteride and medication, because he did bring it to my attention when I saw it working for him. And then I said, and I'm sorry, I told you something that wasn't right. And it turns out that it doesn't come out in your sweat and make everyone mutate. And I sent it. I thought, oh God. And he read it, and he read the message, and he sent a message back, and he just said, show me your results, with a thumbs up.
Really?
So I thought, okay. So I sent him the month, from 0 to month 5. And he's read it, and it's been hours and hours now, because I messaged him earlier today. He has not replied. And I tell you what, guys, I told you when I think when I first called, I told you I'm having good results, really good results. So I think, yeah, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, he's just this
bruh.
motherfucker.
Bro, is he the guy I just saw on ESPN that beat the shit out of his opponent in 15 seconds flat? Was that him?
I don't.
Like he put the guy in the hospital.
I don't know.
Is that your buddy?
I'm not sure. I'm not. It might have been. He's I think I mentioned that he's a boxer last time I called in. I mentioned he's a boxer, and what I didn't mention is he's virtually undefeated. I think he's got one loss, but he's had maybe close to 100 matches at this point. It's serious stuff. But no, I thought I'd update you guys on that one, and I do have a couple of quick questions. If you,
I gotta say two things. Okay, first off, Sebastian.
Yeah.
That was a very brave and good thing that you did. So my hat's off to you for coming clean and telling your buddy.
Right.
The second thing, maybe you should have waited till he got home, because now he's going to be pissed off that you distracted him with this news while he's on tour boxing. He needs to focus.
Yeah.
Last part's a joke.
What the hell?
Well, I would actually, Sebastian, just soften and say, look, my hair looks great, but I haven't gotten it up in 2 years.
There you go.
And then maybe
he'll have a little compassion.
No, he'll feel a little better about it. Like, okay, well, you saved me from that.
Yeah, that's a good backup plan, definitely. But he didn't offer any information. He didn't say, I had sides, so I stopped. He didn't. You freaked me out, so I stopped. He didn't offer any additional information.
Actually, I wouldn't do what Spencer suggested, because that's just another fib about the medication, and you just apologize for the first fibs. So don't do another fib.
Right.
Yeah, listen, dude, that's a little white lie. He's already destroyed his life. At least let him make him feel good about it.
And
at least my dick works.
And if he finds this episode at some point in the future, and you didn't tell him, then he'll just be more.
No, he's done with it. He shaved his head. He's finished, man. Seb already ruined his life. Let him think that he escaped impotence. That's all.
I'll say, in 10 years' time, I'll say, look, man, I'm really sorry. I told you about I was getting good results from this medication. And I told you that my dick wasn't working, but I've got something to tell you. I've been banging this whole time. I've just been laying it down this whole time.
Dude, I've been laying really pipe. It's unbelievable.
Been laying pipe.
I walk in the bar now with my new hair, and it's just I'm unstoppable.
Yeah. But no, I think he's a well-rounded bloke, and he's confident, and he's secure in himself. And I don't think he's that fussed, to be fair. But I could be wrong. And I could be calling you from a hospital in a few weeks' time. So we'll
when did you get back in town?
I've been saying that forever, as far as just me taking this drug for so long. I mean, yours is a different situation. Yeah. You may get your ass kicked. But when people ask me about, the drug, I'm like, look, and they ask me about side effects, whatever it is, I'm like, look, right now I've been doing great, but who knows if it's going to take me out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he should feel good. He doesn't have to take drugs. He doesn't have to worry about, his hair anymore. I think you saved him from a lot of bullshit.
Maybe. There's a version where that may be true. But no, I had a couple of things I wanted to quickly run past you guys. So I've been experiencing a bit of hair greed. I'm not going to change anything. I'm sticking with what I'm on at the moment. I'm just going to ride it out for 2 years, minimum 2 years, and see how we go. But there is one thing that I can't seem to get clarification on. And what it is so topical minoxidil, I am using it. I know it's a bit of a faff. It's a bit fiddly and messy, but it works for me. It's worked in the past and it's working now. And I notice these days, there's so many different versions, and obviously you have compounded versions. They include different additives, but the real thing I want to sort of ask you guys, and I think both of you could have some input on this, is the percentages. So I understand originally there was a 2% and then there's a 5%, but now you've got all of these other percentages. And the one thing I did hear was that the solution cannot be stabilized above 7 or 7.5%. But they don't stop there. They go up to 12, 15, 16, some ridiculous numbers. And I'm just thinking, well, what are people buying? What are they putting on their heads? I don't understand if there must be a bell curve of the effectiveness where it sort of peaks and then there becomes some irritation because of the nature of the mixture. So I didn't know, is it possible to stabilize the solution past 7%? I suppose is my question.
Well, that's a good question. And you're going to hear all types of stuff, misinformation, disinformation, stuff that was never resolved clinically. The reality is we know that anything past 5%, at least clinically and topically, has been proven to be negligible. With that said, there are some good companies who are offering 6%, 7%, but there's also a marketing aspect to that.
Of course.
So
number 15%.
Yeah. I used to get 15% from the Dominican Republic back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
No, not the early 90s. Yeah, the early 90s. The early 90s. 1994. 1993, 1994. I was dating this Dominican chick. She brought it back for me. So, I was drinking it. I'm just kidding. So, listen, and I know some good guys who are selling products and they're pimping out 7% or 6%, and they're saying, the highest percentage out there, whatever, and mixed with like topical finasteride and dutasteride and azelaic acid and all that happy horse shit. Brother, all I can tell you is, in my experience, after 30 years and people selling this shit for that long, 5% topical is the way to go if you're going to use topical, if it works for you. More is not better when it comes to this. And there are doctors out there who are selling their own products who will disagree with me. Some doctors who are members of the IHS. I get it. I'm not here to pimp out their products. I'm here to tell you guys the truth. To me, if you can tolerate low-dose oral minoxidil and you're being supervised and monitored by a physician and you're getting your heart checked out and all that stuff, that's going to be one of the most effective things you could use currently as far as anything that's any type of minoxidil. I'm not a huge fan of topical.
No.
But I know you're using it, and if you're doing okay on it, then stick with it.
Yeah.
But you
100%.
don't need to up your percentage. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. And
what's your percentage now? You taking 2 or 5?
Just 5% at the minute, and I think these fancy sort of upgraded versions and all of these other bits and bobs. My main concern is, let's say I'm using a 10% all of a sudden. Let's say in 6 months' time, that is no longer available, and all I've got is 5. I'm going to experience a shed, and
that is a great.
You're
that's a great line of thought that you have there. Thinking ahead on specialty brands that might not even be around in 6 months or a year or whatever. That's exactly the way that you should think about stuff like that. Like, I don't know which specialty brands you're talking about, but that does make a lot of sense. If it's a big established company, they happen to have something that's a higher percentage than what you're taking now, and they've been around forever, it might be different. But like Spencer said, there's really nothing to say that anything more than 5% would be effective for the long term to begin with. So personally, I would just stick with it. And you've been taking it for how long? You've been taking finasteride for like minoxidil. You've been taking for how long?
So topical minoxidil is 5 months, and it'll be coming up to 1 week. And I started with, I know this is slightly off topic, but I started with the finasteride for a month, and I sort of read into this stuff and I go, well, maybe this is better than that. I've ended up, I actually switched to dutasteride only after 1 month of the finasteride, which is very, very quick, quick change.
It's so common today. All of you, how old are you? 30, 32?
I'm 30, yeah.
Okay. All of you kids. I mean, people are constantly contacting me through Instagram. It's like, when should I switch? When's the best time to switch to dutasteride? I'm like, why are you switching?
Why? Yeah.
Because I understand it's better. If you're doing well on finasteride, dutasteride isn't necessarily better. It could actually be a disaster for some people. Now, in your case, obviously it wasn't. That's great. But this is for people who are listening to this. There's a reason why physicians sadly, a lot of physicians online now will promote dutasteride because they're selling it. But there's a reason why, in my view, most really well-informed physicians who've been in the field for a long time, who are not selling their own products, will start patients on finasteride, because the vast majority of patients who use finasteride have positive, they experience positive results with minimal side effects. If you do get side effects in dutasteride, they can last for a really long time. Now, that's not your case. You're lucky. But I always tell young guys, man, there's no reason to jump to dutasteride.
No, it was a rash decision. I kind of regret it. I'm getting results, so I'm happy. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I wish I'd have kept that in my back pocket. Just kept that for a rainy day.
But you're a good responder. Again, you're one of the lucky ones, Seb. So you're a good responder with no side effects. You may have been a person who responded better to dutasteride as opposed to finasteride. You'll just never know now. That's all.
No.
But, fuck it. What are you going to worry about it? AI's taking over anyway. We're all going to be dead in 10 years.
Yeah, but our hair will remain.
Yeah, yes.
There'll be a skeleton and there'll be hair with hairspray.
Yeah, damn straight.
100%.
Term match, fibers.
Yeah, it's all in. So what the hell is this?
Dude, we're going to be done. Yeah, they're going to dig me up in 500 years and be like, what the fuck did they put on their heads back in the day?
They died from some horrible disease, some chemical warfare. Yeah. They dropped topic bombs on each other and hairspray bombs, and everyone died.
Dude, they're going to be looking at these kids who have these Turkish hairlines. They're going to be like, what the fuck were they thinking?
They actually did this to themselves?
Yeah.
Was this a ceremony for like becoming a man or something?
Yeah.
Or was it a punishment? Is it punishment for
It's going to be like, it's like a Turkish hairline and a clitorectomy. That's what they're called? Clitorectomy.
Clitorectomy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. A new species. Well,
Jesus.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for answering my question. I'll let the other callers jump on.
How do you know we have any other callers, Seb? How do you know you're not just, keeping the show alive for the next 20 minutes if you stay on the line?
Just shouting into the ether. I'm here. I've
Seb has faith.
More stories. Two more stories I've dug up for you guys. I'm happy to save them. They're pretty short.
Oh, tell one short story, and then we'll let you go.
Oh God. Okay, so I was watching/listening to one of your older broadcasts, and one of your good callers was talking to you both. I think he was named Bald Spot Barry.
Bald Spot Barry.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he's a good caller, and he was explaining he felt guilty because when he was a young lad, him and his brothers would take the piss out of their dad. They would make fun of their dad for being bald, and they would say, he's Bozo the clown. We're gonna, can I shine your head for $1? He said, shine your head for $1, and he felt, and they thought it was brilliant at the time. And then as he got older, he felt bad, and then he started to bold, and he started balding fast, and it was faster than his brothers. And he was the one that asked about the $1. Can I shine your head for $1? And he thought that it was karma had got him and made him go bald.
I don't remember that call, but that's hilarious.
That's good.
That's good. And when I was listening to this, I thought to myself, oh my God. And it reminded me of something. And I thought, oh no. I remember distinctly, I was about 9 years old, and I was at my parents' house, and a friend of theirs had come over, and he's always popping in and out. Really nice chap, sort of a bit younger, I'd say maybe at the time, maybe late 30s, early 40s. Decent looking chap. I think he was clean shaven face and wet shaved head, bald shaven head. And I think to me as a young lad, it was strange. I thought, well, this guy's he's not old, you know, he's an adult, but he's not old, and he's bald, and he's like, his head is like it looks like a potato. It's like, how is it? Why has it got eyebrows? But no, and look, I've been bald for nearly 2 years. I've only just started taking medication, so I don't feel bad about it. So I've looked like a potato for years now, but he looks like a potato, and I'm thinking, how does this? Why is he doing this? So it felt strange to me. But anyway, he's leaving. He says, oh, you know, cheers, guys. I'll see you next weekend. Yeah, it's nice to see you. All right, take it easy. See you in a bit. And I don't know what came. It was like the Holy Ghost entered my body. I don't know what happened. I stuck my head into the hallway. He's closing the door, and I shouted, "Baldy!" and then the door closed. And all you could hear was my parents. They went, oh my god, what have you done? We can't, quick, open the door. No, don't open the door. What should we do? Lock it. What? Can you see him? Is he gone? He's gone.
Oh my god, you were fucking possessed.
Wow.
And I've never had that before or since, and it was like a tick. It came out of me. It was building and building and building, and it just came out, Baldy. And I didn't really know what I'd done. And over time, I thought, oh God, you know, as you develop a conscious, and
sure,
you develop empathy, and as I'm aging, I'm thinking, I think back to the moment, and I go, oh my God, and but then, as I told you guys, when I first called a couple of weeks ago, when I noticed I was balding, when I was in that shower and I felt my temple points going, and I was 16 years old. I remember now. I remember. Not only was I scared,
you thought about that.
Bald, I remembered shouting at that man about how he is bold.
Hell yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. I've done it to myself. And he's going to see me bold, and then he's going to laugh at me. And this whole thing was going around my head. And I thought, you know what? That if karma is part to play in this, that was the first nail in the coffin for me, definitely.
But you know what's interesting? Maybe the guy didn't even hear you.
Good.
Maybe he didn't even hear you.
Oh, I hope
but the karma was still there. The karma was still there.
Or he closed the door and he got into his car and he just started to cry.
No, don't say that. Don't say
that. He started to cry. Oh. He drove to his local pub, got drunk, ended up wrapping his car around the phone pole.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets home, he puts a hand towel on his head in the middle, and he's got a towel on his head, he's making it into like hair, and he's all slurring, and yeah.
He's like hanging, you know, after that call, or he went home and he got like all kinds of like, you know, products and put on like, you know, Eye of the Tiger, like he's Rocky. And he's like trying to grow his hair back. Got
through sheer will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids are brutal, man. That's a good story.
Yeah, I think.
Well, listen, Seb, thank you for that, man. I have similar stories, not about calling people bald, but like having like a tick and doing stuff that I shouldn't have done.
Nothing that bad.
Well, I did hide around the corner in my apartment as a 4-year-old, and I stabbed my brother with a pencil when he came around the corner, right in the stomach.
That's good.
I don't know what came over me. I never forget that scream and just that's beating I got from my father.
I bet, yeah. But that's your job as a brother.
And you know, like 20 years later, he showed me that there's still like a little piece of graphite or lead or whatever it was
still coming out
in his stomach. So you remember this? I'm like, oh Jesus!
It's like when I was like 8, or no, I think I was like 11 or 12. My baby brother was about 6 or 7, and I remember the Polaroids with the flash that was along the entire top of the camera.
Sure.
And you press one of those flashes, it's like the sun goes dark. That's how bright it is.
Yeah.
I went, hey, look at this. Pop! right in his face.
God.
Eyebrows, eyelashes came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is my karma.
Jesus Christ. And he was driving.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, got it.
I just made it funnier. He was driving.
Yes.
All right,
He
listen,
was
Chad.
driving.
Great call as usual, brother.
Good to speak to you guys.
It's not karma. Don't worry about it. I mean, it was fucked
Yeah.
up. I'm not going to lie.
Oh. Hey,
But-
hey, look, it was something came into me, right? It came up from below. I can feel it now. It's like adrenaline, and it shot out. Baldy!
Yeah, I get it.
And I just like a demon.
I've been there. But listen, it's not as bad as
Norwood Reaper.
telling your friend to stop taking finasteride because he's going to cause the kid to be deformed because he's going to come through sweat.
It's going to sweat out of your body, and in any child or pregnant woman. Yeah, that's bad, dude.
No
That's not
wonder
that
you're
bad.
asking us about 10% minoxidil.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get. I need holy water. I'm going to get some holy water and just start sprinkling it on top.
All right, Chad, man.
But
Thank you for the call, man. You're always a pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys.
All right,
I'll
take
be
care.
listening.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
I'll have to find that call and use it as a clip. Bald Barry, whatever his name was.
Ballberry. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think I can help you do that. Do that search. Would it be archived on my channel, or would it be your old?
Dude, I haven't
recordings?
I mean,
how long ago was
GFQ
Ballberry?
didn't put it on there. I don't
okay.
know. I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah.
I think the last shows that they put on their archives were like 10 years ago
Okay.
or
Wow.
older. I don't even. My page has nothing on it.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing about
I have to start a
Ballberry.
new page. I keep saying that I will, but I'm just like.
I was gonna say you've been saying that for
but
like a year.
But it's kind of like every time I'm not okay. Let's start this thing, and I look at it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to answer comments, and I'm gonna have to upload shit. And
you just turn off the comments.
yeah, but then you don't get any views. So I'm not going to turn off the comments. I'm not concerned about dealing with comments. Just I don't want to respond to them. And then if you don't respond to them, people get angry with you. I mean, I just don't. I don't want to deal with that. The Instagram thing. I have not made a new piece of content for Instagram in months. You know, and it's just because it's such a pain in the balls. I want to help people. I like getting our message out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, listen, I guess I'm complacent because I don't have to make a living from this. So I guess if I was making a living from it, like being an influencer or some shit, I'd be working harder because I already have a good platform and I have a lot of followers. But it's
Makes
such
sense.
a pain in the ass. It's such
Yes,
a
it
pain
is.
in the balls, man. It's not even
It
about
is.
creating the content. I mean, that's a pain in the balls too, but it's more about having to respond to it.
Yes. And then the shit you get for responding.
Yeah, and there's so many sick motherfuckers out there. I just like
Like the guy from last week that was saying in our comments about how we're making it up about how generics might not be as good as, well, in his words, he thought we said aren't as good as name brand, and was throwing out these conspiracy theories. Did you see this?
yeah, I responded to it for you.
Yeah.
Or, which I never respond to your stuff. But I
We
decided
both did.
one reason I decided to respond to the comments last week is because someone was nice enough to ask me, what the fuck is going on with my face? You've been ticking or twitching like that for years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
That's right.
anyone, I mean, if he actually was watching me for years, anyone who knows me or knows the program knows that
Yeah.
I have a neurological disorder called Tourette syndrome. And mine is luckily very minor in comparison to the stuff that you see on television. And, yeah. I mean, every once in a while, like I'll cough but most of mine, the majority of mine are kind of like internal, like every once in a while you see me move my head or my shoulder, but I could be exhausted just by flexing my pecs or like my traps. I'm not trying to flex. I just have to move. So I have
Yeah, I get
those
it.
tics and I have facial tics, but sometimes they're worse than others. But
It's like restless leg syndrome.
yeah. But I mean,
You got to do it.
it is what it is. It never stopped me from doing anything. When I was a kid, it wasn't easy. I was a little bit more blinky. Kids called me blinky, and I was more twitchy when I was a kid.
They called you Blinky.
They call me blinky.
Kids suck.
Dude, I was, it's interesting because, a lot of kids are bullied and they kind of become this really fucked up person as they become an adult. For me, it was just like I just got used to it at an early age, and it's probably because I was able to hit a ball with a stick really well and run fast, and
Yeah.
I guess I was kind of a cute kid, and I was funny, and but yeah, I mean, sometimes my neck would go crazy. I mean, when I was very young, my twitchers were really bad, my tics. Like my mother was really freaked out about it. But it never really bothered me. I never felt bad about people making fun of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know why. My hair was a different story.
That's the different story.
But to me, I was
altogether.
born this way. This was always me, so it never really bugged me. But, for any asshole who would bring that up, it's like, you think I want to do this? You think it's fun?
Like, what's up with your face?
Yeah.
Who asked? Like, what kind of question is that? Yeah, it's bullshit.
Phone number. That's all right. Listen, I think after a while, people don't, especially people who know me, they don't even notice it after a while, Yeah. Well, at least that's what they tell me. 888-659-3727. Let's see who this is. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hello. I'm Marshall from Indiana.
Hey, Marshall.
Hello,
What's going
Marshall.
on, brother?
How are you?
I'm okay, I guess.
Okay.
Talk to us, Marshall. What's going on?
Well, how good can he be? He's balding. I'm just kidding, Marshall.
Yeah,
What's up, man? What can we do for you?
Well, like I've never been on a calls-in show before, so I'm a little nervous, I'll admit.
Joe's nervous too. Don't worry about it.
I'm nervous too, man.
Yeah.
How old are you? Tell us your story.
you're
What's going on? How old are you, first of all?
I'm 30.
Okay. And how long have you been dealing with hair loss?
Probably since I was about, it was probably started when I was 18, but it was started to get noticeable when I was 19.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Been there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So what's up? So what can we do for you?
Well, you had mentioned earlier about people having different reactions to the generic drugs and the brand drugs. When I first tried finasteride, I had a really, really bad reaction to it. But I started again a few months ago, and I'm handling it a lot better. And I was supposed to get on the brand Propecia, but excuse me. Wait, never mind.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
So let me. So you started with one generic. Now, where'd you get the generic from?
Yeah.
Did you order it online? Was it through one of these telehealth companies?
No, this was like years ago. I just got it from my doctor. I asked him about it, and he wrote me a prescription.
Okay. And do you know the name of the generic, or it was just whatever? You didn't know?
That was like 5 or 6 years ago, and I didn't really look.
Okay. And what were your side effects?
Well, it was mostly sexual side effects, like not just, I guess, ED, but a lot of the other stuff, too, that people describe.
Okay.
It did go away when I stopped, though.
Okay. And so when did you get back on the drug?
I'd say early May this year.
All right. And so are you getting it just from, again, are you getting it from your pharmacy or getting it from like a telehealth company?
Pharmacy.
Okay.
I got it from, I got a prescription from my my dermatologist.
Okay, good. Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just getting another call, and I had to text them that I was busy.
Okay. These kids, man, they don't have to make a phone call. I'm just kidding, man. So listen, all right, so you're 30 years old. You started to lose your hair at 18, or you noticed it at 19 years old. You initially took finasteride 5 years ago, didn't have a great experience. What has life been since you got off finasteride? What has it been like for you?
What was it like off of it?
Yeah, how has your life been the last 5 years? I mean, did you continue to progress? Was it something that really affected you emotionally?
Yeah. Both of those things. It's affected me pretty harshly, I think, and also emotionally, it was, and always has been very hard.
All right. Well, and listen, obviously you're not alone. I've been doing this for a very long time, and the reason I'm here is because hair loss really fucked me up at a young age. I mean, it hit me like it was like just it blindsided me, like I was hit in the back of the head with a bat, and I went through a deep, dark place, serious depression. I definitely felt alone. There was no one out there to help me. This did not exist. The internet did not exist. And any professionals, in quotes, in the space were just trying to rip you off, disfigure you, sell you some bullshit.
Yep.
It was almost impossible to find any information, even in the library, even in medical journals, that would be even remotely helpful. So that's why I started to do this. Once I was able to find some help for myself and avoid and learn how to navigate the industry back in the day, I just started to do this, and I've been doing it ever since. So if anyone gets it, we get it, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I was 17 years old in the cafeteria of my high school, and someone called out my bald spot or my balding crown in front of everyone. I know what it's like to start losing early. Like I was still in high school. Like in front of everyone, it was pointed out. You want to talk about a swift kick in the nuts? That's it, right there.
So what can we do for you now, brother? You called in. What do you need?
Well, honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I had thought this all out a while ago, but, I guess every week up until now, I've been too busy. Something came up. But, like, yeah, I mean.
So you're just calling to say hi? What's up? Hey, Spence, what's going on? Or do you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, like, I had actually got in touch with some surgeons last year and also a little bit this year too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had sort of gotten some different like signals, particularly in the last few months or so. And so one of the surgeons actually was Dr. Nussbaum that you guys talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons I had got on finasteride again is because I talked to one of his representatives, and she felt that I had progressed a lot since last year and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
when you say mixed signals, what's going on? So you have to have some sort of
not from.
No. I'm just saying you have to have some sort of a question. I mean, there's got to be something there's something on your mind. There's a reason you called, and we want to help you. So what can we do for you?
Like,
so are you considering you're obviously considering having a hair transplant?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. And you went to see Dr. Nussbaum. So it sounds like you went there twice because his.
I didn't go there.
He went to multiple clinics. He consulted multiple clinics. That's where you're getting your mixed signals from, right?
Yeah, them and my dermatologist too. But I mean, my dermatologist only sees me once every 6 months or so. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, Dr. Nussbaum.
So what are the mixed signals that you're getting?
Like, some people thought that I had progressed a lot in here, and other people hadn't. Like, honestly, I sort of just from comparing pictures, I'm kind of leaning towards thinking that Dr. Nussbaum was right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Okay. I know that you had mentioned in a video that you were excited about Missoula, and I don't know. I was just sort of, part of me was wondering whether it would be worth it to wait for that or
no.
not.
No, it's not. If you're concerned about hair loss, it's not worth anything to wait for anything because it's not here. If you want to do something now, to stop your hair loss where it is, you need to find something that's available now to do that for you, whether it be, different dosages of finasteride, whether it be topical, whether it be minoxidil, oral or topical, or something that can help to arrest the loss that you're going through now. Like that's the only way to deal with it. Or shave your head and forget it, move on. Like those are your two options right now. The third option is not an option, and that's do nothing and continue to be miserable. Like it's better to be miserable while you're trying to do something about it than feeling helpless and just giving up.
Yeah, I've been on minoxidil since basically I was like 20 or so. Started oral minoxidil not too long, like last year I started it. And tried some other things. And I contacted them because, I felt like, for too long I had just sort of, been, I guess, miserable and felt like I had really stagnated on a lot of things and stuff like that. And
so when you say that you started oral minoxidil and then some other things, what do you mean some other things? Like, were you talking about laser? Are you talking about saw palmetto? Like what are these other things? You got to be specific about this because it does matter.
Yeah, I tried piralutamide, and my dermatologist gave me clobetasol, but I don't think that is. I don't know. I never got the impression that was really supposed to be for this kind of balding.
No, I'm not sure what's going on there. So, and how long did you use piralutamide? How long did you use anything other than minoxidil? Like what these other things you tried? Like what's the time frame here?
Oh, piralutamide. About a year. I wasn't consistent enough with it, but I did use it.
Okay. And I'm going to guess nothing. No results. Nothing happened.
Like, I thought I was doing okay for a while, but
because you're inconsistent, you can't really tell.
Yeah. I was really consistent with the oral minoxidil, but
you were? Are you still consistent with oral minoxidil?
Oh yeah, I take it every day.
Okay, and what's your dosage?
I think it's 2.5.
Okay, and you said that you said that you're still progressing, or you think you're still progressing based on what Dr. Nussbaum's office said?
Yeah, based on that, and just sort of, I looking at my pictures, I guess.
Okay, so and I didn't quite catch this in its entirety at the beginning. You tried finasteride, but you had bad side effects, so you stopped that pretty quick.
Yeah, I did, and I started it again recently, but I got a different brand that I was getting before.
Okay, and how are your side effects with that?
It's not even close to as bad.
Okay. Same dosage?
The only real bad. I've been quartering it and taking it every. I'm taking it I think 3 times a week.
Okay, that's good. So what I would suggest,
I've experimented with some.
Just based on everything you've been telling us, I think that's in your best interest to continue with both the minoxidil 2.5 and the regimen that you're taking of Propecia. Take both of them for the next year solid. Don't change anything. Yeah. Because he said you just got back into finasteride and you're quartering it. Don't change anything. Be consistent. Do not waver from this. Because the last thing you want is in a year to say, yeah, I'm not sure. And then they say, well, have you been consistent with your intake? I'd kind of miss some days. Because then you're wiping any sort of potential benefit. Like it's a waste of time. If you're not going to stick with the plan of daily or whatever you're starting at every other day or 3 days a week for finasteride and daily for your minoxidil, then don't do it because you're wasting your time. If you keep missing, you got to stay consistent. That's the whole key to this. It is a absolute commitment to getting something out of this. Because when you go for a year and your intake of especially finasteride is inconsistent, say you miss three doses in a row over the course of just a couple months, that can have an impact. That can set you back. How much? I don't know. It's anecdotal. It's different for everyone, of course. But the key is consistency. Because if you don't have that, then you can't gauge anything. You can't use it as a reliable baseline for understanding where you started versus where you are now. And you don't know if you're going to have a good result if you're not consistent. Like if you're consistent, you know. And then after 1 year, maybe bump up your minoxidil to 5 milligram, or maybe bump up your finasteride use to 5 days a week and take weekends off, that kind of thing. But stay steady on this.
And I would say,
that's the best advice I can give.
Absolutely stay in touch with Dr. Nussbaum in his office. You need to be monitored.
Yeah.
You need to be, I would say at this point, guided in the right direction. It's really possible that if you stay steady, not only can you maintain the hair that you have, you may actually notice that you're regrowing some hair.
Yeah.
You may be an even better candidate for surgery if you ever decide to go that route. Or you may even get to the point where you don't need it, depending on how well you do on, low-dose oral minoxidil as far as regrowth, and then how well you do on finasteride. All right, brother?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to take another call, but thank you so much for the call. I wish you the best luck. And you found a good clinic to work with. You definitely need to, stick with them. Your regular dermatologist is unlikely to be as well-versed as Dr. Nussbaum in his office.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
All right, brother. Good luck.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, for a moment there, he's a nice guy, and I'm glad we were able to help him. But it was like, I thought we were playing like What's My Line? Do you remember that show?
Yes, I do.
Those four celebrity panelists, and some guy had like an obscure occupation. They had to ask questions. Yeah. They're all yes and no questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, am I being punked here? Anyway, I'm glad you.
Is there a question here?
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to help him out. Phone number 888-659-3727. Let's see who this is. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Kenny from New York.
Kenny, what's happening, man?
Hey, Kenny.
Kenny from Virginia.
Kenny from Virginia now.
Sorry, I'm so used to.
Okay, now I don't know if we can trust you.
Listen, New York and Virginia are both fucked up now.
No, he doesn't know where he's from.
No, I've called the show before. I've called a few times.
I know you are, Kenny.
Yeah.
But
listen, have you really?
Okay.
Listen, at least with Kenny, we're not going to have to drag out any questions from Kenny. I'll tell you that.
No. Yeah, no. I'm trying to avoid going outside from the wildfires going on in Canada. We got like really bad air quality here now too. So.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping to avoid it, but yeah.
Canada fucks everything up
down here.
You can't avoid bad Canada. I'm telling you.
So what's going on?
No, I was good. No, I was listening to the previous caller, and it sounds like with him hesitating on going on finasteride. I remember I was there at one point. Knock on wood. I think it's worked out for me. I've been on it now for almost 12 years, so and still managed to maintain. I think pretty much everything. Knock on wood. It's like I always check, but I check less often now.
I got to tell you, Kenny, I am so glad that none of this existed when I started finasteride. That it was like, oh my God, there's this drug that's coming out for hair loss. I'm going to get my hands on it. It's already approved for prostate enlargement. I'm going to find a doctor to prescribe me this shit. And at the time, you looked at the physician desk reference. It was like, at that specific time in 1994, it was the safest drug listed in the PDR as far as side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else had a laundry list, including aspirin, which included anaphylactic shock. And this had like 4 or 5 listed at the time, adverse side effects. And I'm just like, psh. My doctor was like, yeah, this looks pretty safe to me. Let's give it a shot. and that was it. I can't even imagine the emotional turmoil that these kids have to go through when they read all the shit online. I feel very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, when I first looked into it, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to get on it, but at the time, I just thought there's really nothing else out there that could either slow it down or halt it.
Yeah,
And
it's a miracle.
I did look. Oh, sorry.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, and I was like, I have to do something now because online you read things like, oh, there'll be a cure in 5 years and this and that, and I thought, well, what if there isn't? And you end up losing more ground. And I had already waited like 3 years before even getting on it.
And the thing is, there's a cure in 5 years every year for the past 40 years. That's what people don't realize. Like the last caller, he's talking about how there's these things coming out that he's wondering if he should wait for. Everyone's been waiting. Like it's not coming. Like it may, but especially with recent developments. But it's like an actual cure might be coming out in 5 years from now. Has been said every year, not just by people like out in the ether, but manufacturers or supposed authorities. It should be available in roughly 5 years, pending FDA approval or whatever. Yeah, no, not happening. Not yet.
I mean, it's very possible we'll be walking around on Mars before this happens.
It's very, very possible. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So like for me, I was just like, maybe I should just, because I went to the doctor and at the time I was trying to get on ProScar because to me it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But at the time the doctor didn't feel comfortable prescribing ProScar, but he felt comfortable prescribing Propecia. So I was just like,
that's so weird.
Well, I got to get on something. So yeah. So I just thought I got to get on something. I want to get on something now because I thought trying to find a doctor would be a hassle that would be willing to prescribe it, like ProScar off label. Now it seems like it's much easier today. I don't know.
It's funny. For a while, it was super easy, and then as the mass hysteria started, your general physician, your internist, or your GP, they kind of backed off. Dermatologists started to back off, even though they were willing to prescribe Propecia. But now, kind of the pendulum has switched. And it's kind of come back where physicians are titrating medication. They are prescribing compounded meds. They have no problem prescribing ProScar. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I wonder too if it's because a lot of these drugs, I think Hims and a lot of these big name companies offer some form of finasteride. So maybe they just think, oh, okay, I guess it's safe now to prescribe, and they just are willing to do it. I mean,
it's definitely more in the mainstream. It's definitely in mainstream consciousness. So there's no doubt that there are more physicians who realize, well, these kids are going to get it anyway. They're just going to go to a telehealth company. Right. So it's probably better if I prescribe it, and at least they could be monitored.
Yeah. And, but like I said, at the time, I think a few years ago, I was contemplating on switching to ProScar because I don't like switching medications or anything like that. So
me neither.
I just decided, no, I'll just stick with Propecia instead of switching over. But, it has gotten a little bit more expensive recently.
It's not cheap.
No, it's not. Like I said, I take the name brand. And
what do you pay per month?
But the last time for 3 months, I paid, I think it's close to $400. It was a lot of money.
But if you go to a steakhouse for dinner, what's it going to cost you? A couple of drinks? It's going to cost you $400.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're saving your fucking hair, man. Jesus.
I know. Well, because like I said, if I were to get on ProScar, it would probably be like half the price.
That's $400 for 3 months. So you're talking about $1,200 a year to keep your hair and your sanity.
Yeah.
It's $4 a day.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper than a cup of
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Well, it's interesting too. I just started a new job, and they offer it's like an HSA account,
Yeah.
and it's pre-tax and everything. But apparently, I looked it up. You can't use it for Propecia for vanity reasons. You can only use it for
Proscar.
I guess if you have like
Benign prostate hyperplasia.
androgenetic. Well, no, like if you have they say on the thing you can only use it if you have alopecia, but you can't use it for hair loss or balding or vanity reasons. That's how it's labeled. So I thought that was ridiculous
Well, it is ridiculous because it is alopecia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
all you have to do is have your prescribing doctor list androgenetic alopecia. It should be fine.
Yeah, so maybe I could do that. We'll see. But
I don't think any insurance company covers Propecia. They'll cover Proscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's an HSA account, you could use it to pay for medical prescriptions.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah. I mean, but I'm not planning on switching or getting off or anything.
Look, if you can't afford $1,200 a year, you need to find a better job.
Yeah, no, I could afford.
I'm just busting your balls.
Yeah,
There's people out there like, oh yeah, Kobren. It's easy for Kobren to say. It wasn't easy for me to say, dude. I lived in Woodside, Queens, in this crazy apartment that I shared, right across the street from a strip club. By the way, that was great though. I really had some good times. You're from New York, right?
Yeah, I am. I grew up in the Bronx.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Manhattan. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up in Manhattan, and then, when you become an adult and you have to move out, you can no longer live in Manhattan. When you're 20 years old.
You lived in Queens.
I lived in Queens. I lived in Woodside. 69th Street and 43rd Avenue.
Wow. I mean, Manhattan is, I lived in Manhattan the last 8 years. I was in New York, and it's gotten so expensive. It's just insane. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to start to make some money, and I obviously moved back to Manhattan. And then I had to leave after I almost got killed during 9/11. But, whatever.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that story. That's crazy. Because, it's interesting, too, with, hair loss, because it really, it does affect you. Because I remember you talking about that story where you actually had to run back into your apartment and take a shower because you're too self-conscious going out. Which to me,
I didn't run back in. I actually, before I knew that I had to leave, I made sure that I took a shower, did my hair, and threw some Topic. That's just the way it was. I was like, okay, we may have to leave the building. And this is between the time the first plane hit and the second plane hit. So that's how fast I moved, I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I need to do my hair. And I remember I told that story, and I don't know what paper it was written in, but I got so much shit for it. It was just, I was just being honest. I'm the hair loss guy, And it's just, go ahead.
I was saying, I think today it's I don't know. I feel like people don't really understand what it's like. That's what somebody else is going through. I think, people kind of lack that kind of awareness of imagining how somebody else is feeling in the moment and things like that.
You mean empathy?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really grateful that I've been able to keep the amount of hair I've been able to keep for so many years. And, I obviously I want to keep forever, I always tell myself, maybe until I'm 60, or 50, and then whatever. But it's no, I want I want to keep it, and then like hair plays a big part in your confidence and everything like that, and it's hard for guys too.
Dude, I want to be the
also.
guy that if I dropped out of a heart attack, the paramedics come in and be like, Jesus, you had a good head of hair. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to keep it for as long. Listen, I don't have all of it, but I want to keep what I have as much as I can for as long as I can. And if that means adding to it, whether it's through a transplant or eventually having to wear a yarmulke piece or whatever I choose to do, I'm not going to feel judged by it. If I want to feel comfortable when I leave the house and feel, that I look my best. What's interesting about our culture is everyone, like looks maxing and all this stuff. It's all out there. People are trying to enhance their appearance or whatever it is. But there's something about hair loss still. It's gotten better. But still, especially now it's with older guys. If you're an older guy and you want to maintain your hair, these kids are like, it doesn't matter. Well, why do you give a shit? You're 60 years old.
Yeah. I just had a debate, a back and forth on Reddit about this a couple days ago with a 23-year-old. Why can't I enjoy my 20s now and have the hairline I want? What do I care when I'm 50?
Yeah.
His words. Like, dude, I'm 56. I still care.
Sure.
So does what's his name? The first caller we had of the day, who's 56, getting his hair transplant in 3 days.
I mean, I still like to look pretty good with my shirt off if I'm going to a pool or whatever. Like what's wrong with I still exercise. Would you just give up when you're 50 or 60? That's what these kids think.
Mm-hmm.
Hate them.
No, I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was in my early 20s too, I had thought about, of possibly getting a hair transplant. I remember I went to, oh my God, what's his name? He's in New Jersey. I didn't realize
Feinberg.
he used to be a member. What?
Feinberg.
Oh, yeah, that's him, yeah. So I saw him, and he was my dermatologist for years when I was in high school, when I was living in New Jersey. And, I didn't realize. I knew he did hair. So, once I noticed like a little bit of thinning, I was like, oh, let me see him and see what he could tell me.
He probably turned you down.
And he did. Yeah, I didn't even know he was a member of your organization until after I started watching your show. But yeah, I went in, and I remember when I first went in, it was very slight in the right corner temple, and he kind of like chuckled a little bit until he like put the comb through, and he's like, oh yeah, I do see a little bit, but he's like, you're nowhere near qualified to have a hair transplant or anything like that. And at that time I thought like, oh, I want to look good throughout my 20s and stuff, but I'm glad I didn't get it, obviously, just now I'm 35, or going to be 35 next month, and I can't imagine going through something like that like later on and being nervous about like, oh, is it progressing or whatever, and having a scar on the back of my head or anything like that.
It's funny because once you cut, especially at a young age, it really does. People think that it is just going to enhance their lives. And for some guys, it does, if they're very lucky.
Yeah. But
for a pretty significant percentage of guys who get a hair transplant at a young age, they develop a new type of an obsession. And it for some people, it could be even worse than balding. And Joe has probably dealt with a lot of patients like this. Mm-hmm. They start to pick their hair transplant apart. Once they're cut, they feel like they need more. So they waste maybe 4 or 5 years of their 20s going through surgeries and having downtime. Mm-hmm. And at the end, maybe they're better off, maybe they're not. And they deal with this roller coaster of emotions, a lot of aggravation, a lot of money spent. And at the end of the day, they might not be thrilled. And then there are some guys who are like, I'm so glad that I did it, or that I did it early. They lucked out. But I have to say that's pretty unusual. I would say that most people who do it under the age of 30, I'm not going to say that they regret that all of them regret it, but they realize they've taken on a different burden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also thought too at the time, I just thought like, what if it progresses further? Then it's like, you can't go back and
No, you
fix
can't shave
that
your head.
issue,
You can't go back. I mean, you can in some cases, like Joe Rogan did it. But I think the reason Rogan was able to do it is because he had, I mean, his scars are pretty significant, but, he had a lower strip scar. He had, I don't know if he had any laser resurfacing in the recipient or if he just lucked out and he had no dimpling or cobblestoning. So he was able to get away with it. But when you saw him from behind, and listen, I mean, it's no secret. He's talked about it. I would see him in Calabasas Commons, or he used to go to this place, Chicks, that I used to go to, or I would just see him from behind, and I saw him several times. It's like, wow, it was a pretty significant scar that he talked about a lot. But he lucked out. But the guys that are having FUE, there's no shaving, no matter what people say. Now, Graham actually may be able to shave his head if he wanted to, because he really had a very refined, just beautifully executed dissection of his grafts. Mm-hmm. And the punctate wounds are tiny. So if he doesn't somehow, I guess it's always possible that he could be a keloid scar, but I don't think he would keloid with those small wounds. He could possibly shave his head if he didn't like the results. But in most cases, you can't. You are stuck with a speckled head for the rest of your life. There's no going out in the sun. There's no shaving your head. You're in it.
Yep. You're committed.
You're committed. Yeah. And these kids don't fucking get it.
No, I mean, any surgery, I always look into a little bit with things, and that's something you don't want to mess around with, especially, something as personal as like on your head, like that's not.
What about this guy who called in, 56 years old, considering having a hair transplant now, going to Dr. Nussbaum? Sounds like a smart guy. He had under eye filler 10 years ago. And now he's noticing that it looks a little weird, or he thinks that it does in pictures. And he also noticed that when he was taking low-dose oral minoxidil, that he may have been retaining more periorbital water, possibly from the filler, that could contribute to it. I mean, once you do something to yourself, that's it in most cases,
Yeah.
So you really...
Well, that's also like...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, you go on.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't mind. Joe does it all the time.
All the time.
Okay, but I mean, the way how they do like cosmetic surgeries today, it's really, it seems like you can just get it anywhere, and there's no real certification on getting somebody who's certified in anything. I mean, to get certified in injecting someone with a lip filler, I think you just take a course.
Let's put it this way. Any physician, MD or DO, can hang up a shingle and call themselves a cosmetic surgeon. They don't even need to do a surgical residency. That's number one. As far as injectables, there are RNs and PAs who can definitely inject these fillers. And, they're licensed to do these things. But, really, at some point, they were just experimenting on people or being trained on other human beings. Which is common, but that's just the reality of it. And I would just say that, listen, I don't want to diminish anybody's, skill set or the way they decide to make a living. But the reality is most of these non-invasive, in quotes, cosmetic procedures are questionable at best. That's it. Either they don't last or they cause more harm in the long term. Younger and younger people are having to get full facelifts because of these procedures. Radiofrequency procedures, Morpheus 8 procedures, anytime you're heating the skin to tighten the skin, anything that's not surgical, sadly, for the most part, in my view, and I've been in this field for a very long time, There's a reason why all of these surgeons and these facilities and med spas have a room filled with devices that were once state of the art. Because if they really worked 10 years ago, they would still work today. It's all about marketing.
Yeah, no, it is definitely. And, even with medication today, I mean, speaking of medication, like I remember like years back, I got on like an antidepressant years ago, probably for like a year. And
you sound so upbeat all the time.
I was going to say.
That was weapon.
You sound so upbeat all the time. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, no, this was just a lot. Yeah, no, things are good. But it was just at the time I was, going through some stuff. So, seeing a therapist and psychiatrist, and they were like, maybe you should get on this. They were so willing to put me on an antidepressant.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say the antidepressant actually gave me the worst erectile dysfunction.
100%.
Like, that I felt it, like there was just no.
When I first started to lose my hair, 21 years old, 22, whatever it is, I was seeing a family shrink.
Yeah.
That's how fucked up my family is. And they sent me to the family, you see this guy, and he's a great guy. I think he's still alive. But he put me on, at the time, Prozac had just came out, but they were still using tricyclic antidepressants. He said, try this. Put me on it. I started to take it. I'm like, I had to call him up in like 2 days. I'm like, my dick is dead. He's like, get off of it. So luckily, it went right back to normal. And then he put me on Prozac for a while. And then, I didn't really feel much from that except I felt numb. And then I was put on something called Effexor. This is the first generation of serotonin uptake inhibitors. I was on that for a pretty short time. Now, it definitely caused some sort of sexual, I guess it's called dysfunction, but for me, it just made me last forever.
That's what happened with me too.
So I was just, banging away, man. It was like nonstop, so it was fine when you're that young. But I did feel like this stuff I'm not feeling the same. I may not feel as depressed, but the hair loss was still happening. And I just kind of felt numb. So I didn't like it. Now, back then, what they didn't tell you is that you need to wean off the shit. So I just remember kind of stopping and just feeling really fucked up for a while. Luckily, I got over it. But some people are having, severe adverse side effects. They have permanent adverse sexual side effects from these drugs. And they have permanent neurological side effects from these drugs. So I feel very fortunate that I started for a short period of time. I was young. My body was able to recoup very quickly. And I just decided I don't want to be on any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly like what happened with me. I was on it for about a year, but like I was able to last for a long time, which was great, obviously. But it just felt strange. I felt numb a little bit, but I did wean off of it. It took me, because I was on it for a year, I made sure to like slowly wean off of it over the course of like 4 or 5 months, because I was afraid of getting like any rebound of anything.
Yeah, they didn't even know about rebound back then. That's how old I am.
My psychiatrist at the time, he was just like, oh yeah, you could just get off of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I've been on it for like a year. Like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, you could maybe, do like once every other day for 2 weeks, and then that's it. I was like, no, let me wean off of it slowly. So I like cut the pill in half, took a half a pill for like each day, and then, a quarter each, up to like 5 months or whatever.
But what's fascinating, and now a few years ago, they found out, well, you know what? Serotonin may not have anything to do with depression.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the killer.
Yeah.
The kicker on that one.
So I definitely feel fortunate. I have to say that I think those and benzos are like the most insane medications to prescribe. And I mean, so many people are on these meds. And that's based on personal experience. That's based on the experience of friends that I've known. And, you know, it's just, I maybe know one person who seems to do well on them that's currently on them now. But almost everybody else, pretty significant adverse reactions, and they never really got out of the depression because of it. You're just numb. You're kind of numb for a while, and like nothing's, you know, everything's just like, all right, well, you know, whatever your situational thing is, you know, it's still happening, but you're just a little bit more numb to it.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
That's why Joe drinks.
That's why Joe drinks now.
Yeah. That's why Joe's about to drink. I see him getting antsy. We started the show late, so we got a little time.
It's not withdrawal. What?
Yeah. No, it's okay. You got the shakes. All right, brother. Listen, it's always a pleasure. We have time for one more call, I think, right, Joe?
Oh, we do. I also need to get to the stories of the day. we haven't had time to do that. But yeah,
well, the good news is we're getting a lot of calls tonight.
That's the good news.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Well, thank you guys for taking my call. I appreciate it, and it's always good calling in and talking.
Oh, we appreciate you calling, man, and I'm glad that you're doing well.
Yeah, good hearing from you. We hope St. Louis is doing well.
Yep. Thank you.
St. Louis.
Yeah, New York, Virginia, St. Louis. We don't know where he's calling from.
That's true.
It's a sham.
Oh, I'm in northern Virginia. Northern Virginia.
I'm busting your balls.
So are you like in Rockville?
What happened?
Are you in Rockville?
No, well, that's Maryland. Actually, I work close to Rockville. So.
Oh yeah, that is Maryland. I'm pretty stupid. I know it's close.
Yeah.
It's okay, Kenny. I knew it was Maryland. It's okay.
Just say something.
It's all right. Yeah.
Right, listen, I definitely think it's brain fog from all these years of being on ProScar.
That's and there's the segue right there. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, you're gonna start a whole thing now with that. So.
Trust me, the thing's already been started. That started a long time ago.
All right,
you ever hear of Trustless?
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye. Let's take another.
That's going to start something.
Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Adrian from Melbourne. How are we?
Adrian, man, what's going on?
What's up, brother?
Yeah. Look, I just want to ring on behalf of Graham. I've been chatting with him every day since he's had his procedure, and
is he okay? What happened to him? Why can't he call in?
He's a made man. Well, I guess it's probably about 6 a.m. over there now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's been sending he's been sending me and Spencer updates, photos and video of his recovery, and it's looking really good. Like, well done.
Yeah, he said he was going to. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it looks. I mean, I have to say. I mean, 1900 grafts. Listen, when we were younger, 1900 grafts. That was a big session.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially for FUE.
Yeah, true.
But I would say that the work looks. You never know until it grows out, but it looks pristine.
Yeah. The extractions are well spaced out, as you would have seen.
Yeah.
I thought anyway.
Yes.
And you know, he's just realistic. I mean, his thing for him is his crown, and everyone's saying, "What? No, you should get your hairline done, etc." And it's like, if it doesn't bother you, why do it? You know?
100%.
And I admire him for that. I have so much respect for Graham for that, because he could have caved into that, but it's like, no, that's not being true to himself, and it's idiosyncratic. You know, we all have our own thing. For me, you know, mine was that scar. If I could get some hair over that was the biggest thing. And he's.
You know, the thing is, Adrian, what I like about how he went through with this is so many guys, like you said, they would have caved. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, Absolutely. Let's, you talked me into it. Let's do it. He had a mission. He went there. He did not change. Like, I'm sure it was discussed. Like any clinic, doesn't matter who they are.
Yes.
It would make sense to talk about it because you know what? His hairline is high, and if they can take care of it, then why not talk about it? But, the fact that he stuck to his guns is, number one, it's a testament to his focus and the idea that when you go to a clinic and you've been focusing on one area of your scalp for so long, knowing it's a bad idea to change your game plan basically on the last second, because that's what it would equate to. Now, what it doesn't say is whether in a year when his crown comes in looking great, we can all hope that he's going to be like,
Dude, he's going to be having surgery for years. I'm telling you.
Yeah. He's going to go for the hairline. He's going to go for some temple points. And before we know it, Adrian's going to have some competition down under.
Yeah. He's going to be like, he's going to start asking us about getting some sort of, he's going to get, I don't know, he's young, so he probably doesn't need anything done to his face. But that's next.
Who you been talking to, Spencer? How did you know?
Exactly.
I get a sense, man.
He's out of the bag now.
He wants to evolve his life.
No, we're really happy for him because he did things right, and he took the slow boat to I can't say it. He said this. He took the slow boat to Thailand, and you know where I was going. And it's so far so good. So couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
So what is he saying to you? How is he reporting back to you since you guys are chatting?
He's not hyped or like I said to him. I said, "Do you feel this sense of relief? Do you feel this sense of like, elation? Do you feel?" And he's just like, "No, I'm pretty good." I love that about him. He's very easygoing, and he stuck to the game plan. And he had, like we said, he had no interest in getting other things done, and he's just himself. I thought he would feel like I did, I guess, like finally, a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. But that may come, but it doesn't matter. He's happy with what he's.
Well, I haven't seen a picture of his face, so he may come back with like these big choppers. I don't know.
Veneers.
Well, he's in the right place. He's in Bangkok. His wife, I think his wife is arriving today, which I couldn't understand because, Bangkok with your wife is a bit like going to the Munich Beer Fest and you bring a 6-pack of beer.
Right.
But anyway, he's in the right place for his hair. He's happy with the clinic, and that's good. I'm not going to hold up your time, guys. But look, Joe, I sent you 2 pics probably 10 minutes ago. I sort of feel I should ring back when you've got more time because I know it's late. I've just woken up, but I've noticed in the last 2 months I'm on 0.5 milligrams of finasteride a day. I've been taking 5 milligrams of creatine a day. I've been since Thailand when I was there 3-4 months ago. I've been going really heavy with the gym, and I'm loving it.
That's great.
Good for you.
My mood is like industrial Prozac or something. My mood is really positive. My body, I can feel that strength. But I've noticed the hairline, and Joe, I sent you 2 pics, and I'm not saying I think I'm cooked, but I took some photos last night in very harsh outdoor sunlight, which always brings up the worst in a hair transplant. But I feel I'm losing ground. And Spencer, what you say, I really want to hammer this home to everyone out there listening that if you can't tolerate an F5-alpha reductase inhibitor, you shouldn't have a hair transplant. I'm okay with what I've done because I had the scars before, but I feel I'm losing ground, and I the only way is going to have to be a 5AR inhibitor. really. I mean, oral minoxidil has been fantastic, 5 milligrams of that for the last 3 years. But but I feel I don't want to stop the exercise because I think that's as important to my mental health probably as much as anything.
I mean, but you really
and
think it's the relatively slight testosterone boost that you're getting from working out that's
I don't know.
causing you to shed?
Look, it could be the creatine, although everyone keeps saying no, it shouldn't.
Why don't you? I mean, listen. I know
Stop taking creatine.
There's a lot of supposed health benefits to creatine. There's a lot of talk about it now. A lot of brain benefits. But we're still not 100% sure. And sometimes when you see the people who are discussing it online, I'll give you an example. There's nothing wrong with this guy. I think in general, if you follow his tenets in life, you're going to have a better life. But Gary Brecka, who is, what does he call himself, a human biologist? I just heard him talking to, what is her name?
Rhonda Patrick?
No, she used to be on Fox News, blonde, pretty girl. Anyway, I just saw a clip of it, and apparently she was talking about, she's now told not to use self-tanner because there's some chemicals in there, whatever that, could be cause some adverse effects. And he was talking about this peptide, and I think it's called melanin tan 2 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've heard about it for years. But anyway, essentially saying that, you can take this peptide, it'll tan your skin, and if you go in the sun, it'll increase your tan. And yes, it does work, but there's also some significant evidence that it could increase the risk of potentially melanoma or your melanocytes, your melanin increasing in certain moles, and these moles growing. And there's been a couple of incidents that have been, put into literature showing that this could be pretty dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that it is. And I'm not saying that, some of it's not anecdotal. But where was I going with this, Joe? I just lost my train of thought. It's creatine.
I'm not sure.
Creatine.
Yeah, creatine.
So this is a guy, and all these guys promote the shit out of these products. Yeah. And the last study that was done on creatine that showed that it didn't affect DHT and it didn't cause hair loss, that was essentially funded by a company that manufactures creatine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't take creatine for a reason. That's because in my experience, I felt that when I was on it in my younger years, it did exacerbate my shedding. And then throughout the years, especially when I was on the radio, we would get a lot of calls, and this is in the 90s when creatine was big, where a lot of guys thought they were shedding from creatine. So I'm not saying that's the cause, but I mean, how bad would it be for you to titrate off of it and see if that's what's causing you to have a little bit of a diminishing effect of your hair transplant?
Look, it could well be that, and the jury to me is still not out that creatine has no impact on hair at all. People almost have to think about it, even the ones that say, no, it doesn't.
Adrian, sorry to interrupt, but is the jury out on whether you're actually losing your hair or not? Like that's what I want to get back to that, because you just sent me your photos, and as clear as the photos were, they're still taken at what looks like the golden hour outside.
Yes, they were, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So with all due respect, my friend, those are terrible photos to use to evaluate, because a lot of the hair, I had to look real close, but I could see a lot of hair that was visible, but only if I looked closely because of the angle of the light coming in on your scalp. So take some proper photos, in the same position that you might have taken some before, where your hair was not questionable, where you had your good result.
Yeah.
Try to mimic that situation, those conditions, and then take a photo.
But in all fairness, and I think you're right about what you're saying, Joe, but in all fairness, you know your own hair. If he thinks he's getting worse, he's getting worse.
That's not the point. It's he's trying to show me, and I can't see anything good or bad. Like, of course, he knows his own hair, but if he wants to share it with me, I gotta be able to see the right angle in the lighting, because I'd love to see if I can see any sort of real evidence of loss. Because I know, Adrian, you've been pushing yourself hard with the body transformation after you've done your hair transformation, and God bless you for it. I'm really happy for you. You're making the gains, you're making the transformation. You feel good, look good, all that good stuff. But let's try to zero in on this. I want to look at this for myself. Send some photos with the right lighting and angles.
Yeah,
and
thanks, Joe.
We'll have a powwow about it.
Thanks.
And as far as the
Joe.
creatine thing goes, I don't know. I like the whole creatine thing. I didn't realize that the most recent study was funded by a manufacturer, as Spencer said.
It's not funded. It wasn't funded by a manufacturer. Essentially, there's the connection to the funding. There's an organization, which is interesting, and I forgot the name of the organization, but it's an organization that funds these types of studies that is connected to a manufacturer of supplements, and one of the supplements is creatine. So all you have to do is find a study and put it into AI. They could do, AI will figure it out. I forgot how I figured it out, but this was like, I don't know, a year ago or 2 years ago, and it's not at the top of my head right now. But yeah, it's definitely in my view, from the information I have, it's 100% industry funded.
The latest one thing I just asked AI. I said, "Who funded the latest creatine study?" As a general question.
It's some sort of an organization in the field.
It says the UCLA Broad Stem Cell Research Center, the Rose Hills Foundation, UCLA Health Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center, the Magnolia Council, and the Tower Cancer Research Foundation.
That's incorrect.
Yeah. Sports and nutrition research.
Sports nutrition research.
Funders often backed by International Society of Sports Nutrition.
That's it, yeah. International Society of Sports Nutrition is essentially an organization that was created by these nutritional supplement manufacturers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good gimmick.
I did
smart.
I thought of one thing, though. I thought 2 months on finasteride, it's possibly just a shed from that. That was one thing I thought.
That's possible, yeah.
Good point. Yeah, could be.
I don't remember you including that in this conversation until just now.
No, I tried. I tried including it. No, I thought, I looked at all the factors. I thought, yeah, creatine could be one, but what else? The working out on its own, I don't think so. And then I thought, well, hang on, I am getting sides off the finasteride, but I'm trying to push through it, and I'm sticking with it religiously. But I thought, hang on, don't people sometimes get a shed when they start a new medication, et cetera, et cetera?
100%.
Maybe it's from that. Maybe it's from that.
It's more likely from that.
But I will take better photos, Joe. I had that moment last night. I don't know. It's like when you first go bald. You for me anyway. I remember that day. I remember exactly where I was when that happened. And last night I felt like this. I felt like Charlton Heston out of Planet of the Apes when he sees the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, my God. You blew it. You blew it. All those graphs. God damn it. God damn it.
You blew it all to hell. God damn you. That's good. That's a good pop culture reference.
Man, I felt like that.
Well, look, when you send them, don't send them like I tried to look at them on Instagram, and I was going to take a screenshot, and it wouldn't let me take a screenshot or do a screen record because it says it's only meant to be viewed once. Okay. So send it to my email. I don't have it all.
No, Adrian has his disappearing messages on, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it could be my settings. I'll check my settings.
Yeah, take off disappearing messages. That's sketchy.
You're not in Bangkok, buddy. You can send permanent images.
Yeah. Oh, Bangkok. That might solve my problem. But yeah, anyway, it was like that moment of, oh my God, last night. And I think I need to step back a bit and just look at it realistically. Like, hang on, 2 weeks ago, you didn't feel this way. So these things don't happen overnight. I've got to look at it objectively.
Yep.
And for
Well
everyone
said.
out there who thinks they don't care, but that guy on Reddit who said, I don't care about Merit at 50, well, give him my number, please, because you do. I'm Spencer. I'm going to be 60 in 4 months.
Unbelievable, man.
So it's real.
Do you know how, I mean, it sounds so old. And you know what? I'm 61. And 60 sounds old to me.
61? Oh, fuck that. So I didn't know 60. I thought it was 60. Oh, man.
I know,
61.
right? Yeah.
Dude, I turned
You're
61 in
lovely.
May, man. You know that. 61. But it's funny when someone says they're 60, I'm just like, my mind is still like I'm a 20-year-old. I'm like, wow, you're fucking
I know.
old, man.
Yeah. You're always going to be like a 15-year-old kid.
My frontal lobes are still growing, man. That's how I look at it, you know.
There you go.
But look, health-wise, I can't complain. You know, I could have cancer. I've got to put everything in perspective. I'm actually enjoying going to the gym. So anyway, I don't want to labour the point, but and I'm okay with it. You know, if this is what's happening, I've had a really good run. You know what I mean? And I'll work my way out. But
I actually think, given the fact that the hair has been growing for so long after the transplant, the hair follicles, the manufacturing process is still working. It's still there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even if it's miniaturizing or you went through a shed, you're still in a position where that is salvageable. It really is going to come down to the right combo of medications.
Just don't run back to Pradeep for more surgery right now. Please, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I've got enough books. I've got so many of those books. I'm fine.
That fucking book,
Not the book.
Just a damn book.
One more image with that damn book.
Oh,
you do know that I refused to take the image of the book, right? He was here, right? Like right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I remember. I watched the show.
Yeah.
You brought the damn book.
And I must say, I'm not taking a picture with the book. I'm sorry.
When he was here, when he came to Vancouver, I took him to my wife's school, just for a quick introduction because she didn't have time to come out and to go out and hang out with us, and she came out in between students. She had like 30 seconds, and she's like, "Oh yeah, very nice to meet you. Great. Oh okay, yeah, great." I mean, she did what she needed to do, and she's like, "I got a student. I need to go back." It's like, no, you need to come back. I brought a book. We need to take a picture.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't leave until she took a picture with the book. Oh God! So he got his damn picture.
Man.
Yeah.
I refuse. I just said, listen, Pradeep, I'm sorry. I'm not taking a picture with the book. I don't think you fully understood my, the reason behind that.
He couldn't believe you turned down the picture with the book.
Yeah.
God bless him,
man. Anyway, so listen, I do think I am a believer, no matter what anybody says, and even they could fight me to the day, if you want to take creatine, not you, but all you young bodybuilders out there who think that it makes such a difference in the gym, have at it. Do I believe that there's a percentage of men who will have adverse effects hair-wise from it? I do. Do I believe that the studies and the science that's being put out there for public consumption and for all the health influencers to discuss, and Paul Saladino and Gary Breck and all that stuff, the fact that we know that the studies were funded by the industry, you have to look at them with a jaundiced eye.
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck, what scientists, put it this way, who is really going to study creatine and hair loss? What would be the reason? There was one small study done in 2009.
2009.
Right.
Yeah. The rugby players.
And then it was kind of like, okay, well, yeah, this can increase DHT. it may cause hair loss, and that's it. Who else is going to invest in doing a study on creatine? No one.
Yeah. No.
It had a bad
And
rep.
the ones I've looked up.
Had a bad rep, and the industry was just like, fuck it, we got to put something out there because we need to sell some creatine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
all the research methodology on the studies on creatine, they're also poor. No hair counts. No, the methodology they've used.
Here we go.
What?
Sorry, I just did a quick search. Sorry to interrupt, Adrian, but I did a quick search while you guys were talking. I said the first prompt was who funded or started the International Society of Sports Nutrition, the ISSN, and it gives me the story and the 4 founders that are still running it. And it goes through sponsorships, corporate grants, academic journal partnerships, memberships, certifications. And then I said, is there a connection to creatine manufacturers? Here's the answer. Yes, there is a strong, highly transparent connection between the International Society of Sports Nutrition and its top researchers and the world's leading creatine manufacturers. Number 1, leadership on scientific advisory boards. Many of the leading scientists who publish research under ISS banner or speak at their conferences also sit on the advisory boards of creatine manufacturers. The Alzachem relationship. Alzachem Group AG is a German specialty chemical company and the Western world's dominant manufacturer of ultra-pure creatine monohydrate, sold globally under the brand name Creeper. Board overlap. Prominent ISSN figures in creatine researchers such as Richard Crater, a founder of ISSN, Dr. Darren Kandau, and Dr. Jose Antonio regularly serve on the Creatine for Health Scientific Advisory Board funded by Alzachem. And it goes on. Like, wow.
So while I couldn't articulate the name of the organization, and I remember researching it, and I'm just like, because I know, listen, I hate to break the news to you guys, but I founded the American Hair Loss Association. If I wanted to fund any study on any product out there through the American Hair Loss Association, I can make that happen. I can get a group of doctors. I can get it published. It probably a semi well-respected, and none of you guys know what these journals are about anyway, in a journal, and say I wanted to say, there's some product that, I don't know, did mitigated side effects for 5-alpha reductase inhibitors. I can make that happen. That's a good idea, actually, but I can make that happen.
There you go.
The truth is, there are a couple of natural products that I've talked about that can help to mitigate these side effects, but that's neither here nor there. But the truth of the matter is, some of these organizations exist solely for industry. And some exist for the consumer, like the American Hair Loss Association. And some exist as just kind of like, a political arm for certain fields of medicine. Or as a trade organization, like the ISHRS. But people think that if it's found online, and if you could research it on PubMed, that it's the gospel. People are idiots. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah, it's the way of the world, man.
Not you, Adrian. Take your creatine, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are some. There seem to be some benefits to taking creatine. What interests me the most are the brain benefits at this point in my life. And it can definitely make your muscles look fuller. There's no doubt when I was using it and I was young, I was pretty jacked. And I felt that I was holding, it's kind of like glycogen and some water. Not necessarily, it is in the muscle, not necessarily under the skin or in the face. But some guys who take creatine look a little bloated. But for sure. But as far as gains and strength in the gym, I didn't see that much of a difference when I was young. But when I was young, I was very strong. Now I'm just like, you put me under like 185-pound bench, I'll just crack.
Yeah.
I'll lose an arm.
Yeah, I've noticed strength. I found strength has come back in it's been probably 4 months now.
That's
I
great.
started when I was in Thailand. And it's cumulative. It's slow, but it's cumulative. And no, I do feel real strength now.
If you have good tendons, then you can definitely have your strength back. I have some fucked up tendons, so I'm rehabbing my tendons for the last 5 months, and I'm getting to a much better point. And maybe I will be able to get to that point again. But at my stage in life, I'm like, who needs to bench press? First of all, you don't need to bench press. That's really an old school exercise anyway. But who needs to lift that much weight anyway? And there was a time when I could do like 225 for reps when I was a kid, when I was like 25 years old. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I just want I want to be functional. That's what I'm saying. You know, as I'm going to hit my 60s, hopefully my 70s. I could be hit by a bus tomorrow too, but if I do continue, I just want to be functionally fit. And
hopefully, if you get hit by a bus, it's in Bangkok. Am I right? All right.
I just want to go to a strip club and, you have muscles. Yeah, that's it. I'm 61. I'm not going to lift them over my head or anything.
No. But, the health thing is important to me. I see my doctor once a year. I get everything done, everything checked out. He said to me, my prostate's the size of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Now, what worries me is this doctor doesn't see 20-year-old patients, so I'm kind of concerned how he would know.
That's true.
This information, but that's beside the point. He's still a nice, boom, boom. But health is. I'm
just glad that he didn't say an 8-year-old.
Oh.
That would be a problem.
Well,
that'd be bad.
2 4-year-olds, forget it. No, don't say that. But the thing is, health is important. I guess once you've got one thing off your mind, like that whole thing about hair, then you've got more space for other things. And health has been one of them for me. I don't drink anymore. Even in Thailand, I don't drink.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. This is true.
Listen, drinking is probably that is the absolute worst thing we can do to ourselves. And trust me, I like to drink. Joe will attest to that.
I hear, buddy. I hear.
That's true.
And I think for me, that's why. I love it. And if I could just have one drink and that's it, fine. I'd rather just not drink because one leads to 3. And then...
and then all of a sudden you're bumming cigarettes off of the guy, and all they smoke in Thailand is Marlboros anyway.
Yeah, and everyone smokes in Asia.
Oh yeah,
everyone smokes.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
I saw an article today about this guy in Asia ran a marathon and he won while smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all
right, good stuff.
But anyway, look, I'll go. Look, guys, thank you. Still, thank you for everything you've done for me and continue to. Thank you for what you do for everyone else. I know this phone call was supposed to be a tribute to Graham. I was going to do it last night, and then I had to look at my hairline. So that screwed that. But Graham, I know you're listening. I'm so happy for you, brother. We've been chatting for like 6 years or whatever now, and I hope we chat for another 66. And again, guys, thanks for everything you do for so many people out there.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for saying that. And listen, I think that you're probably still in a better position than you realize, but yeah, I could certainly understand why you would be freaked out if you saw something changing and you're
100%
changes in your hairline. But I think
you're
right. You didn't put into the initial equation the Propecia aspect of you started to take Propecia a couple of months ago, and that makes a difference. That could be the reason.
Not to mention there's the asynchronous anagen phase that all hair transplant goes through, or hair in general goes through. But I've been in a situation many times, not many times, but several times where I'm looking at my hair. I'm like, what's going on with this? Like, what's up? And it always comes back. It always rectifies and continues to, go through its life cycle. So this could be a temporary thing. I think most likely it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the same thing that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Put that on my tombstone.
It's just temporary.
It's just temporary. It's not a big deal. Yeah, put that on my tombstone. All right. Listen, brother. Adrian, thank you so much. Graham, if you're listening, we got your back, brother.
That's right.
You're gonna be. You made the right choice. You took your time, and I have a feeling you're gonna be great space in 8 months or whatever, however long it takes you to grow. You're an old man now, so it may take longer.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Graham. All right, Adrian.
Or we might forget.
All right.
We might completely forget at our age. But
He may.
All right,
all of a
Graham,
sudden
what else can I do?
he wakes up with a head of hair. He's like, "How'd this happen?"
What? Where'd this come from?
Well, in Bangkok that might happen, but yeah. All right, guys.
All right, brother.
Love you
Hello.
so much.
Take care.
And have a great weekend.
All right, you
Don't
too.
go full homo. Okay.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Bye.
Take care, Adrian.
I mean, Bangkok, you can wake up without a kidney.
Exactly. All right. Good
right.
show.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Should we still call it a show? It's a good stream. What is this? What do we do?
No,
here?
it's a show. It's a show. It's a show. I'm not changing that for anyone. I don't give a shit. It's a show. Always has been, always will be.
All right.
It's a generalized description of a presentation that's live. It's a show.
I started 30 years ago. It was a show. It was a radio show. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
and it
kid
was
who
live.
called in, the 30-year-old who we were playing What's My Line with, he said he never called a live show before.
Yeah. There you go. It's a show. Except
Because I got to get some food. Guys, until next time, be strong. God bless. Thank you so much for listening and have a great weekend. Good night.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have been put to prior to the program, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you could now leave by the exits at the rear, that'd be splendid. Thank you.